Aetherfall was a land where the sky never fully brightened, locked in an eternal twilight. Floating islands drifted between glowing rifts in the heavens, and below them stretched an abyss known as the Veil. Few dared to descend into its depths, for those who did were never seen again. Our protagonist, Kaelen Duskbane, was once a knight of the Radiant Order, framed for a crime he did not commit. Branded a traitor, he was given only one choice: exile or execution. Clad in his tarnished silver armor, he chose exile and set his sights on the one place no man had ever returned from: the Veil. Kaelen stood on the edge of the last floating island before the abyss, gripping the hilt of his sword, Varensteel, which shimmered with ancient runes. Taking a deep breath, he leapt forward, plunging into the darkness. As he fell, currents of blue lightning crackled around him, illuminating the ruins of ancient civilizations carved into the abyssal walls. Spectral figures whispered warnings, their translucent forms stretching toward him before vanishing into the void. Kaelen's descent was halted as he landed on a floating ruin, a temple shattered by time. He barely had a moment to breathe before he was attacked. Ether wraiths, creatures of pure darkness with glowing white masks, emerged from the shadows, their clawed hands reaching for him. Kaelen drew Varensteel and fought, his blade glowing with a silver aura as it clashed against the wraiths. They were fast, but he was faster. With each strike, the runes on his sword pulsed, dissipating the wraiths into wisps of fading energy. After the battle, he discovered an ancient doorway at the temple's center, covered in shifting glyphs. As he placed his hand on the stone, the doorway cracked open, revealing the Whispering Vault, where an artifact pulsed with dark energy. At the vault's center, floating above a black pedestal, was the Eye of Nihil, an obsidian orb with a red iris that seemed to blink. As Kaelen reached for it, the air trembled and the shadows twisted into a humanoid form. The Watcher, a spectral guardian. The Watcher spoke in a voice that sounded like 1,000 echoes. "To wield the eye is to bear the burden of the abyss. Will you take it?" Kaelen, knowing he had nothing left to lose, took the eye. As he did, visions of the abyss flooded his mind, realms unseen, horrors unspoken. The moment he claimed the eye, the temple shook violently. From the depths below, a colossal form emerged. The Veilborn Behemoth, a creature with a skeletal frame, void-like wings, and hundreds of tendrils writhing from its mouth. Kaelen ran as the behemoth's roar shattered the floating ruins. He leapt off the crumbling ledge, using the eye's power to slow his fall as he descended deeper into the abyss, pursued by the monstrous entity. Falling further, he landed in a forgotten city, its architecture warped by time. Ghostly figures wandered aimlessly. These were the lost souls of Aetherfall, trapped in the abyss. They whispered of a forgotten gateway that could lead him home. Kaelen navigated the city, using the eye to reveal hidden paths. He finally found the gateway, an archway covered in runes similar to his swords. However, the gate was shattered, missing a vital piece: the Heartstone. The Heartstone was held by the Abyssal Tyrant, a shadow-forged knight who had once sought power but had been consumed by the Veil. His armor was a reflection of Kaelen's own, twisted and broken. A battle ensued. The tyrant wielded a great sword of pure void energy, matching Kaelen blow for blow. The ground cracked beneath them as their blades clashed, sending shockwaves through the forgotten city. With a final, decisive strike, Kaelen shattered the tyrant's sword and drove Varensteel into his chest. The tyrant let out a hollow laugh before crumbling into dust, leaving behind the glowing Heartstone. Kaelen placed the Heartstone into the gateway's core, and the runes ignited with golden light. The portal trembled, revealing a swirling vortex, a way home. But before he could step through, the Veilborn Behemoth returned. With no other choice, Kaelen stood his ground. He wielded both Varensteel and the Eye of Nihil, channeling the abyss's power. The battle was chaotic. Kaelen dodged massive tendrils, struck with newfound strength, and finally, with one final blinding slash, severed the behemoth's core. As the creature dissolved, Kaelen stumbled through the gateway. He emerged back in Aetherfall, standing atop the floating island from which he had leapt. But he was no longer the same man. His eyes glowed faintly with abyssal energy. The sun was rising, a sight he hadn't seen in years. Yet, within him, the abyss lingered. He had escaped, But he knew he had not returned alone. The Eye of Nihil pulsed at his side, whispering of things yet to come.